Jim, probably going to sneak out
No way. You can't.
15 minutes or so before the end.
Okay, 15. Well, you'll have it done that by then.
Oh, I don't know.
You better.
I haven't painted a thing in 2 weeks. I feel like I forgot.
So you're over there in London now?
I am.
Oh, good for you. I wish we could be there too.
I know.
Oh, fuck. What the hell happened?
Oh, yeah, that's what I want to
Oh,
know.
you were so smart. Well, whatever. Fine. Be that way.
We'll survive
Yeah, well, sure we will. Famous
so,
last words.
somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Oh, who knows?
Oh,
Anyway, let's see. We got everybody.
yeah. So I've got two to catch up on at least. So I will eventually.
Oh, well, it'll take you all week.
Mm.
Let me see. I got to get my phone set up, and I'll be ready to go.
Okay.
Okay. We are on time. So I get this set up. We aren't, but we'll set.
This is a very tonal painting.
It is, isn't it? That's what I was going to comment on.
So we can paint it in like 5 colors, no?
Wow. Why don't you do the class?
I'm just, I'm just thinking. Oh my
It
goodness.
That's the thing. Probably the drawing. You might be is the toughest part on it,
Yeah.
and it's really not that tough when I'll show you how to do what's going to happen here.
Excellent.
Let me just get this last.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Go. So we see that. Oh, we got a pretty full house. Looks like everybody's ready to go. Everybody wants to paint this one. I can tell. Uh, Let me see. Last week's we painted a barn, cows. See, we painted like how many cows? Is it like 4 or 5 cows in this one? You know, just and we did it with a palette knife. So I figured you guys were up for something bigger. Something tougher to do than just 4 cows. So 2 dogs. Taking it easy on you. No. Yeah, I've had this photo for a while now, and it has been one of the ones I've wanted to paint. I mean, it tells a great story, a fabulous story for a painting. It's simple. The dogs are out there on the boat, relaxing, looking out there, and the guy's driving, and not paying much, paying attention where he's going and things like that. But the dogs are the star of the show, and that's where I usually love to paint. And I must apologize to you guys about painting another dogs and boats. We did that a couple of weeks ago, and I kind of forgot when I picked it out. But I have a show coming up in 2-3 weeks. I got to have this painting for it, uh, or I'll be short on small paintings in the show. So I need to have it has to be dry too. So I'm sorry. That's so you guys get a painting that I'm gonna probably end up showing a little bit. So let's get busy. Oh, sorry. Grab those two. And yeah, there we go. Oh, not that one. Oh, let me grab the ones again. Wow, how did I get those guys? Went right to it. That's what I wanted. Okay. This is something that, Kim hit right off the bat, understood what we're this painting, that it's very tonalistic. It's very, nothing too dark. I mean, except for you got a brown lab in the painting, and there's nothing you can do. He's always going to be down here in the value charts. He's going to be down here at about a 9-ish, with highlights probably not going up to about a 7 or 8 on him. But he's also down in the darker water, so he's not going to jump out at us. So he's not like the main thing to see, because he doesn't have any really giant highlights in him to pull you there. But everything else, pretty much everything else in here is pretty much in the values of 4s, 5s. You can just see the water here. You go to the water here, and you go, yeah, it might be go to a 6 and a 5 and to a 4. Skies are like 3s. This guy's back, it's probably around a 4 or 3. Highlights, I mean, it's really pretty close. A lot of times the highlights, when you get this kind of a mid key like this, value range right in here, the highlights and the mid tones are pretty much gone. So you get like almost basically one tone with just a little bit of markings on it. So it can be that simple, and especially with him, because he's really not much there value wise. The boat itself is probably the brightest thing, with this little boat here, which is pretty key, because it kind of gives you this dog something to hit, and it stops right there. It stops you, and then you have these other areas here that will bring you back around to the painting and bring you back in. So it's really kind of nicely thought out, because this guy, if you look at this guy, he's very perpendicular with the side. This side of his body is almost is straight with the side of the painting, and so is this side of his body, pretty much. He's nothing but a big giant rectangle. Maybe there's a little angle with his shoulder, but that's it. So drawing it, I love artists love painting the backs of people, because that's just a square and just some nice little accent lines for creases, and that's about it. But the dogs are pretty solid too. I mean, they're nothing more than a little bit longer rectangles. And if you see this, you can just see how they go. They just kind of lopside down here. Everything kind of goes at this little swatch of an angle. So remember that. Also, this little sway, that beautiful sway, is echoed there, is echoed here, and echoed echoed here. So that line, and it goes throughout the painting here. That a little bit of echo of that shape. So that's really, if you get that in your painting, there'll be a pretty powerful, nice little thing to your painting to have in there, that little echo that you put in, you recognize, you put it in, instead of just making a regular, straight dog's back, or this guy too straight, which he's very straight, but just giving him the kind of relaxed feel of the dog be great. You can almost feel this dog, he's almost stretching, there, that arc, that's the way my dogs always are. They're just stretching like that. This guy's not doing anything. He's just laying there on the side of the boat, relaxing. So good job there. Color wise, yeah, we talked about the values and range of color. Very, we're going to try and keep this in a simple range of colors, and then just let the design come through, and not, the tighter we can make, the colors in this area, these grayed out warms and grays, even in the sky. Don't get caught up putting that sky, dude. No, that is a gray sky. Even if it's a blue day, of course it's a blue day, but keep it warm, keep it grayed out. And another thing, when you do these windows, they are windows. They are just like sky holes and trees. It's going against a darker area back in here, right? So it's going to be a value darker than anything here, right? It's not going to go across. This color here is not going to be the same as that. This color, as I'm making such a mess, these colors in here are going to be more up here, values up here. So they're going to match the value up here, and it's going to be a lot warmer. That's a lot warmer because of the glass. You can say, so you get it doesn't have to be perfect. Values, just really, the value of this painting, if you squint at it, is really close to 5s, right in the middle. That's pretty much the value for the major a lot of stuff in here. So that's a lot more white than usual. Usually we're down here in the 8 range. We're gonna have to do some for the dog, that dark dog, and a few shadows. But the major painting colors are gonna be in the lighter areas. And it's gonna be warmer too. So that means phthalo green. That means the reds, warmer reds, not too many cool reds. Definitely I'm going to use some cool reds, because that's what makes the warms stand out. If you don't have any cools, the warms are just going to kind of sit there. So we got to find some cools in this guy. The brown lab here. I know some people have black labs and white labs like this, even in our class here today. So you can make this a black lab pretty easily just by switching out that brown and mixing it with probably mixing more of a blue than a green will help make it more towards the black. Yeah, that's what I would probably end up doing, probably doing more blues than the greens on the dog. We'll be mixing mostly greens because of what we'll be doing here. The guy himself, yeah, he just, like I said, was gray. A lot of these colors are going to be like really interchangeable. A lot of his pants colors can pretty much come from the dog, as long as we have, some separation of the boat in there. That is a warm white too. That's going to be nice to paint. So, that's what I was thinking. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. But I would say some of the things to look at are beautiful. The things that really kind of look in this area over here for a second. I love the way the light pattern is. You got little teeny light patterns going through here. even on the guy's pants and areas and stuff. Just these little areas that are, the lights popping through. It's really kind of fun. It's really, even this one coming up here, how that works. So keep that in mind when we get going. Nice. And I love putting those guys in at the end. And I love putting them in with just a lot of white paint, and trying to get them in with that one nice, beautiful stroke that does it all. When you can do that, you can do anything. When you can put that one stroke in and leave it, that's when you can paint. So that's what you got to do. All right. If you can't, don't worry about it. You get there. That's what this class is about. We're always just trying to push you. So let's get busy. Let's mix some colors. And any questions?
You said
yeah.
this is easy.
It's not. The drawing's the hardest part, to tell you the truth. A lot of the colors are so interchangeable. When you paint, one area here, you can paint other areas at this, really quickly too, and get them in. Maybe we don't have to do quite as much underpainting because it is such a mid-tone, but we'll see. Yeah, it's easy peasy. Not really. Never
I
is.
just wanted to check in and say hi to you guys. I'm not able to stay again. Sorry.
Again?
I know.
What happened?
Oh, it's my dear father being very unkind to carers, so they quit.
Oh.
So,
Uh-oh.
yes. So, and then now I'm the big bad person. But at least I can take it.
Where is he? Is he at your house now?
No, he's just 5 minutes down the road.
Okay.
But he's been abandoned through his dastardly behavior.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
They get that. I know. I know how it gets.
Yeah. And you think, because it's dementia, you can't, this is how it is, right? But
yeah.
But it's hard to understand when you're on the receiving end of it. I get it from the carers. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, it's only this. Well, it's this period of time. But anyway, it is unfortunately eating into my painting time.
Okay. Well,
I'll see you guys next Saturday, and we can all talk about how wonderfully well we were all treated by our partners on Valentine's night.
Ooh, okay. Thanks for reminding me.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, take it easy. Good luck with that.
Thank you, guys. And I look forward to seeing all your masterpieces on Facebook group.
Definitely. We will. Thank you.
Bye-bye, Allison.
Bye, Allison.
Bye.
Oh. Okay. Well, let's head over to our big board here and see how we're doing. Okay, we get the regular stuff. I always lay it out the same. Your titanium white, cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange, regular ochre. I have regular ochre out. I'm sorry, the other one finally dried up and I got rid of it. I just don't replace colors when they're, when they're not dried out. Oxide red light. This is alizarin crimson, cobalt blue hue, phthalo green on the blue shade, oxide, transparent oxide, or burnt sienna if you guys want to do either one. I have some burnt umber out too. And these are just some paints left over. I got some cad red medium and some on here. You probably can see. This is just oxide red right there. It's going to be tinting it with. Okay. Big brushes, big ideas. Put those away. Paint erasers, and it's always going to be good. It does come in so handy. I'm just so glad I did that. Gonna definitely need some nice synthetics and bristle brushes for dogs. We can pet those dogs. Pet the dog. Right. All right. Just make sure everything, all the paint off here is not going to interfere too much. All right. It's about a little bit over midway. What would be the first colors we go with here? Anybody?
Green and alizarin.
We got, you get an A. Let's go with green, phthalo green, and alizarin. Okay. Like we say, when we make one color, we make two, right? Make two out of it, make one on each side. So we have one on the alizarin side, one on the green side. Definitely going to be some nice colors in there. Definitely, if you're painting a black lab, that could work because you're black. Help work in your black. All right, any other colors? Okay, phthalo green. Anything else with phthalo green?
Venetian.
Venetian or oxide red? You get another A. Where are these rest of these people? This is why you win all the awards, and the rest of these people are still waiting.
I got $20 for that award.
Did you?
Yes, I couldn't believe it. My first one, my first payment.
Money! Congrats! Tell the tax man. Well, congrats! That's great. That's a start. You find out now it's, every time you do a show, you're going to expect to win. You expect money.
There's competition against instructors that are not as good as you, but they're good.
Oh, I know. Well, that's tough to do. Good calls on there. I'm going to go with another green. In this one, I love two. Phthalo green and cad red. I think I can get the water out of this color. Well, if you're painting the dog, you're painting the brown lab, you might be able to get this color out of it. That depends also on your cad red. I'm using Rembrandt's cad red, which is more of almost an orange, has a little bit of orange almost in it to lighten it up because it's a little bit lighter. But it is such a rich color. Wow, that's really like a lot of the dogs. I think I could definitely get the brown dog with all those colors, and then these guys toned down will be good. Okay, what's left?
You made two of those, didn't you? Like there's a greener version of that on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little bit greener. This is a little bit redder. I could even probably add a touch more red to it.
Okay.
If you had to really go red and just a little bit of green, would probably be great too. One more color I want to do. And another green. I'm going to go transparent oxide or your burnt sienna and phthalo green. And again, that's how strong a weak burnt sienna or this stuff is I barely put any in there and kind of lost both of them to green. That's all right. We'll definitely want one on the green pile. But that's a nice rich color in that thing. Okay. Skin tone, I'm not even worried about. I think a skin tone, you can get away with not being perfect skin tone. We could do this color, cad red, a little phthalo green and white, and you can get the guy's skin tone. job. All right. Those are darks, but as you can tell, there's very, oh shoot, let me pull it down. Sorry, guys. Very few real darks in the painting. I mean, the darkest things are the brown dog. So let's the value. Yeah, we're gonna do pretty much. We're gonna go with 5s. The water down here, yeah, and the dog, we're probably gonna have to darken it a little bit, but I think we'll get that more in the that can be done in the underpainting and get that done. So let's take these guys to a value of, I said 5-ish, 6, in between almost. So take these guys. It's not going to be probably same amount of white, but it's going to be decent amount of white going into these guys. I would say less than, probably start off with a quarter amount of white. You might end up with like a third, probably at the end, adding white to these colors. Some of these guys won't take much at all. I'm pointing to these 2 colors. That they won't take much at all. So a little bit more white than usual. This color here is where I'm hoping to get the sky, these 2 lizarins and phthalo greens. I really want these guys to be the sky color. Try to get, I think that will really hold the painting together. And I'm trying to, hopefully, I think it's going to be on a little bit more pinkier side, or purple side. I think that would be gorgeous up there, going against all these warms. That's what that is up there. So this at value 5, pretty much right there. It's maybe 6. That's a lot. You might have to go a mix of these 2 together to gray it out, gray the 2 colors out a little bit more in the middle. For me, you get a color like that. Well, that's almost on the blue side, but that's okay. Back on the red side, right down the middle. It's almost, you can't tell. That's like a blue gray. That will be, when we tone that back, we might be able to get a lot of stuff out of that. These other colors, the same thing. If we're going to read probably 2 gray or 2 green. That's usually where I go with. That's how light this painting is going to be. But it's going to give a lot of air to it. That's going to be nice. That's still just a hair too dark. There we go. Okay. As you can tell, it's almost too dark. Yeah, it's probably close to a 7 yet. All right. Some colors just take a lot of white to get them to where they are. So hedging my bet here, I'm just gonna hedge it. Oh, look at that gray that comes out here. That's a nice neutral gray right there. That's like in between. That's, not a shirt. That's what I thought it was going to be, a shirt. Here it looks like a shirt. Now I go put it up here. It does not look like a shirt color at all. That's a really good one. And one thing, again, when we do color like this, we don't have, as long as you are in the family or our values are correct, we don't have to be perfect on the color. Just try to be as close as you can, but it's okay. Now this is what I was thinking was going to be all over in here. You can see it's in the water. That's the Cad Red and Phthalo Green. Thought that one would do a lot more too. That's going to hit the water. Wow. Okay. It might hit his shirt too at high key. High key, a little bit higher than 5s, maybe 4 3s. So we're probably going to, ooh, that's a nice color. You know, it's a nice color. It's more in the water. Maybe not quite even that light. Really kind of, like I said, some of these colors just go a little bit quick. Don't have a whole lot of strength to them. This is where I was hoping to start getting some of the dog colors and browns and things. Just a little bit on the green side. Again, this is oxide. So I'm going to probably push that red in there again. It's the red side. And when you do that, yeah, you can start to see, you know, it's going to hit pretty much everything. So it's pretty much oxide red. And some of these greens, we might have to push on the red side a little bit more too. I'm going to have to mix up a little bit more of this oxide red and phthalo green side up here. Okay. Okay. I think a lot of these colors we might have to bring down to 3s. So let's start there. I'm going to start here with this phthalo green. All these guys. I'm just going to bring them down to about 3s in value. And then I'm going to tint them up. I'm going to start looking for the main colors in the painting. I don't need much. Don't need that much of these colors to tint them up to about 3 and adding some more white to them. That's not going to get, that's still kind of that. See, that's your 5 right there. I don't know where that is. That's way up there. I'm going to bring it down here. Okay, that's 5. Add enough white to make it 3. This should be closer to the sky color, I would say, value. Okay, I think I'll lighten it up enough to be able to use it in the window. Right? That's a lot of white. I'm gonna just take little pieces, little bit smaller pieces. They're just they're eating up all my white. To get them up here to this. But you can see like what's happening here. See, that almost matches it. That's really, really good. And that's even on the right down the middle. I'm going to bring them down here a little bit lower instead of push those piles back together. See, these cools here. Yeah, that nails it. Okay. So whoever said alizarin and phthalo green at the beginning, boy, they get an A+ for the class.
Do they get $20?
Sure, they can find it. $20. Greedy, that's all it is. Kind of getting less and less. I barely need to use any of these colors up here. Get this white. Oh, that has a little yellow in it. We'll see what happens. Still, I thought for sure that was going to get me that shirt. Okay, I'm gonna put out some more white. That was a big, I put out a lot of white. Get it. Lucky white is cheap. Just like me, cheap. All right. So I'm gone through that, and I went through that, and I just hit that. Did I hit that? No, these two. Okay, these two are these two. So I need the. I said threes, but boy, that's getting close to two, is it? Hey, I got his shirt though. God, I thought for sure it was. Did not think it was that high of a key, but it really is. Yeah, that is great close to three. Okay. All right. And then our last one's here. Now, I'm hoping, thinking that this color will help me get some, yeah, no, yeah, I got a few things in here, but not much. Okay. A lot of tinting to do now. So basically, we got the things to the right values, paintings up to the right value. Okay. Figure out colors like this one. Okay. That's really good for up there. Going to be in good in a lot of places. I need some greens added to it. I need some reds added to this color. And it's going to go do a lot of work. This one right here. Some of the greens will probably come. I probably can use these two greens. So maybe even do a mix of these two together first, a little bit closer, really a mid. Let's put these two together. I'm going to put, in fact, and then get a color in between those guys that I can use in here too. I can now it hits its pants. So basically that color just needed a little bit more green in it. But it also needs a little bit more red. I'm going to go for the dog. So this is my basically home pile. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red with green in it. So I got all the mid tones. Now basically all I got to do is richen up things I need like this dog, and then tint for maybe little pieces, and then come up with a few whites, off whites that I can use for this that will work. So I'm going to make a little bit bigger pile of this one. I think I can get the dog out of here. I'm going to also leave it just by itself a little bit too. So this is it by itself, I think. Let me see. No, it's just a little more red in it. Okay, this is it by itself with white, which you can see you do need. So I'm going to go oxide red, transparent oxide red and white to about a 5. A little bit right there. That should get me a lot of these guys. It's going to start coming in here and get this guy too. So a simple one of that. It's going to have probably some green in it too, but not too much. So it's really red. I think I can use it in here too a little bit at a higher key. All right. So this, we got the home palette pile. This is it with just basically more oxide red added to it. This is it with a little bit more phthalo green added to it. which I just added from this pile, because if we added phthalo green to it, we wouldn't have get it. I'm thinking this I can use, these guys I can use for his pants and for some other in areas. So I think the water, look at how it hits the water, this color. It does not look like that until you go over here, and then you can see it. Okay. So I think I got a lot of the boat colors there. What I don't have is my high key whites. I mean, I have these high key whites, but I'm going to look for a yellow white and a pink. And I think I can use the blues and stuff I'll be all right with. So I think this is all I need left to do. There's a couple pinks that will come down in here. I'm going to go with oxide red or Venetian in white from a kind of a pink. That's still bringing it in slowly. Get in here, see? There we go. Just, I think that was just too much. Yeah. I had it right here. And got greedy and thought I could just pump that red in there, and just kind of just took off. There we go. Just leave it there. I'll find some other spot for that. This is white, as you can see, sort of white. It has probably a little bit of oxide red and transparent oxide red into it. It's just a little off, but I don't mind it. Really high key. Really, the one and that just came from my white as the way it is. Just a little bit of cad yellow. If you have ochre too, maybe we'll do an ochre one too for the dog. Cad yellow and white.
Jim, underneath the brown dog where you were talking about that white square.
Right there?
Yeah, that's a couple of different whites, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to use this pink here
on the right.
Yeah, down in.
And what about right under the left, like right where the dog first hits it, in that same square? Yeah, right there. It looks to me on the iPad like it's almost bluey white.
Could
Does
be.
it look?
There is a shadow going on underneath there. And it's kind of a warmer shadow. So it could be one of these guys, but it's really pretty high key too.
Right.
Yeah. There's a little bit of color in there. That could be, I hope there's going to be probably a lot of phthalo. I'm sure phthalo is going to get in there. So we'll be fine.
No.
Yeah. All right, just getting a couple of high keys I really kind of need, even though these are really cool and stuff. I really would like blue, white with no color, just white in it. Just a really high key one, just as matches up. Because I think I can get it. I think I can lighten it to be right. Okay, and the last one would be ochre. If you had ochre, it's a scratch ochre and white. That might be really the colors to go with for this thing. So just a touch more ochre and white for myself to have. Keep it light. So it's just basically a slight off-white. Yeah, that helps. That'll get me there. You can see even when you add white to it. I mean, that amount of ochre just takes the color right out. That's gonna be good enough. Skin tone. Shoot. I was gonna do here. Let me see if this works. I'm gonna go with just a little bit of phthalo green and cad red, but I'm gonna come over here and put more cad red into it. More. So it's mostly cad red and white. God, it's that big old thick chunk of white I put out, it's gone. So this is basically what's going to come up with kind of a little bit more, and then just a little bit of phthalo green into it. Maybe it should be cad orange. Add it in too. Cad orange. Definitely see it's getting closer. It is cad orange. Cad red, touch of phthalo green. You might be able to look at that. I can use that in the dog too. Doggone it. There's your name of the painting. Doggone it. Okay, so yeah, there we go. I can do a lot with that. That just needs to be a little bit more light for skin. And we are set. Don't need that much skin. There are so many ways and colors to make skin. It's great. So I'm going to mix up one more color we did not mix up there. Since I'm not using, I didn't use ochre. That would have been phthalo green and cad orange. Most of the cad orange, just a little bit of phthalo green. And then when I tone it down, when I bring this down a little bit, still have, when I bring these guys down, you can see that richness. I can get that in a lot of these areas here. But I want to add white to when I add white to them, I think that's going to be another ochre. I mean, I could have just used ochre and white, but I don't think it's going to get the richness I need for the dog. So I'm going to take this again to what I took these guys to. See, there's the dog color coming out right there. Yeah. See, when you got that, then you know the painting's done. I mean, this painting's pretty much solved color-wise. Now the only hard part is the drawing part. These colors here, look at these colors. See how rich those are compared to these guys? Definitely we can get a lot of stuff out of here. And I lighten these guys up to the 3 value. And I get the rest of the dog. Get some extra things with those guys and this guy. Those are really getting high. He is pretty high key, but that's it. All right, I'll go through the colors with you guys. Sorry about that. You know, sometimes these kind of same kind of gray paintings don't count for you don't need that many colors, but you do need to sometimes get the value right a little bit more. You need to get the chroma, the brightness, the saturation of the color better. So we start off with phthalo green and alizarin. Fabulous call, Lynette. And we brought those down. Here down here when we mixed it, I mixed the two together perfectly to get this kind of a blue gray. Right here, it's a blue gray. And then when we get to the white, that's beautiful. That's really net, hits the sky, hits a lot of things, going to be in the water, you know. But the green side should be able to get, you know, be a nice switch to the window. That's what I'm thinking. Next ones we did with, again, phthalo green and oxide red, or Venetian. Oxide light and Venetian, or Venetian. Again, nice grays coming down. You know, I'm looking for the gray. I might not see too much of this. I might even probably end up going and, you know, pushing the red on this side of this gray a little bit more, because it's so much like these other ones right next to it. Even though those ones have more green into it, this guy could, you know, not doing very much at this point. So pushing it to the red side might be a better idea to find in here than, anyway. Phthalo green. The next one is Cad red and phthalo green. No, Cad red. No, Cad red light and phthalo green. And coming down, and red side things. Pretty good. This really became the t-shirt color. This is like midtones. We'll be able to switch you guys around, be able to do most of the stuff. Some of the big winner on this painting, which I really kind of knew it was going to be a player, but I didn't think it would be everything. It would be fake, transparent oxide, or transparent oxide and phthalo green here with and phthalo green. Same thing. Brought it down over here. This is just really transparent oxide and white. Really just a touch of green in it, just a hair of green in it. And that could be end up being, you know, part of the dogs, either way, the nose, things like that, grayed out areas. But you can see how bright that is. That's going to work out great. Over here we have phthalo green and Cad orange. Did not have this. I didn't think this color was going to be really in there, but it is. Because as soon as you put white into it, this is really on the Cad orange side, both these guys. And so you get this beautiful taupe color, rich taupe color with just a touch of green in it, and then white. And then over here you can see the orange coming out. It warms up that orange. This orange usually goes a little peachy. And this kept it really on the warm side. And then the nice color. Really going to work out great. You can see that color coming through here. We took them to a value of 5. Pretty much. And then we took them to a value of 3. Some go to 2 automatically when you add white to them, but it's okay. And then we did our specialty colors down here of oxide red and white. This is Cad yellow and white. This is ochre and white. And this is white. This is blue and white. Skin color we came out with. We just came out with that. Sorry. It was, I started off with some Cad red and phthalo green and just really put a lot more Cad red into it. I thought that was going to be pretty good when I had white. It just kind of didn't go there, kind of went to a pink. So Cad orange was added. And when it came to get to Cad orange and white, you get the right skin tone. So nice to have that. Really opens, keeps the palette, and we have some little bit of richness. That, you know, it's really going to be closer to this we're going to be using, but this could be in the dog. That's what we're looking at. That's how those guys got kicked around. All right, any questions? All right, I'm turning on my stuff. You guys finished making your colors? And we'll draw it out. I'm going to tip mine with I was thinking the red, the cool red. I think I might go with oxide red. Yeah, transparent oxide red. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. You bring everything in. Okay, you guys are about there. Let's blast this thing in here. Yeah, let's draw it out. And like I said, we're gonna and laying it out. I gotta clean out my oil. Sorry, some bad oil in here. Again, I use safflower oil. All right, gonna start off and tone it. Like I said, I'm gonna do transparent oxide. I kind of had thinking it was at the beginning. What the heck? Oh, transparent oxide. Yeah, that'll be nice. It's gonna help gray out all the colors. That'll keep the probably thinking about even there's a lot of cool grays, and this will just kind of dive in there a little bit. Nice neutral. Oh, got a little green in here too, so whatever I had in my brush. Take it easy there. I think toning value should be pretty good for this painting. Should be right around a 4 value. Try and get the color out of there. Okay. Oh, let's see. Let's see. 10. So, let's see. Thinking about that guy's back. Okay, boat just a little bit. Here's half. I want to be just on the other side of that, probably about an inch. For me, I'm doing 20 by 16, so being 16, 8. This is 8. 8, 4. It really could come about here for that guy. Okay, and I'm just gonna make him. This is the boat's on this side, probably about an inch in from there. It's really pretty doggone close all the way down here. Just at the bottom here, after the dog, it kind of just, kicks to the left there a little bit and comes out here a little perspective. So everything, perspective, you can just guys go up here right about there. And that should be right about where it's a little bit lower than that. Let's go right about here. Almost a little bit, just over halfway. Now I got to get in front of it to make sure I get a straight line. Then there's a bridge. Goes against the straight line. Water. Yeah, that's about it. Right about there. I think it's going to be probably harder to, really, so the perspective points there. I'm going to kick it out just a little wider like it should be. That could be the shadow. Maybe this is the wood line right there. That feels better, a little bit better. Right. It's like these three areas here between here and the side of the thing are about almost even. So if you find a middle, just on the inside of that, so it is about right width, and then get everything here. Okay, that will help. That helps with everything when you have the right width on things. That's a little bit. There we go, right in there. Okay. If I split that, that's where the dog's butt is, right here. If I take this angle, this spot size here, and I split it, the dog's legs fits right in here. And we know how he comes across here. So trying to get, feel about that width to get this area here to feel about that same width. It's going to be a little higher right about there. Get the angle, and then we know this angle. Okay, remember that what we're talking about? That grace, that swoop of one dog to the guy to, they all have a relationship going like this, and then slightly up. Here's that's where it'd be his neck. Coming back down, trying to get that angle. Okay. And looking at right there, I was looking at his chest, where his chest hits, right here, this width here, and where his head was coming down. If you drew a straight line like that, they were about really right on this, in this triangle of space in between the neck here and the jaw. It's almost like almost a perfect little triangle space right in between the two. That's what I was looking at. Let me take that triangle up a little bit more, which goes right to his eye. I'm just basically looking at things and seeing how they relate. Okay, so there's your dog's head. Trying to get it, just everything. If you look at everything the way his jaw is here, if it swings like this, it just swings, got that little arc in it. That's right where his ear hits too. So if you get the space between where his eye goes here, underneath here, and you follow that to this point, you're gonna catch where his ear is. It's gonna be right there and come up there. Might be just a little bit of drawing to do there, but not bad. Little shoulder, back. Again, a little bit as much arch as I can do it without being too funky. And the rib cage. Rib cage comes down. Now I can find out if that hits in the middle of the boat. It's pretty good. Okay, because that really right where that rib cage comes down, it comes down, should hit this boat line right there. So just a little, probably too much. Yeah, too much of an arc. Okay. But the big thing too is the shadow. Being real, the shadows are so nice. And we got a little bit of play to do with those shadows. That's nice. Yeah, that'll be really nice. Look for his, now that we have these places here set up for a little bit of shadow for the wood, you can just see where his elbow hits almost right, almost the same width as those guys. That's the little things. That's all I look for, is those same little widths. You see, if I get the same width, most of the times it's going to work out pretty well.
Does he really have such a long tail that it goes off of the
Yeah,
picture frame?
It goes
Yeah.
off just like that. It's pretty. It's a long. It seems like a long tail. They're
Yeah,
pretty. They're pretty thick. I think I'm right. You think I'm wrong?
no, I'm just looking at the where my tail would go in relation to where the guy's shorts are is correct. It just thinks I've got more boat than you do, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I'll fix
Oh,
it.
I would expect you probably have lots bigger boat than I do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of boat.
Well, yeah, he's going to be right here. He runs right almost here, and like I said, I just drew a straight line. This side over here, definitely, he's just straight. It's almost parallel. He's almost parallel with that side of the thing. So I'm not even going to place him. I'm going to work the dog first, and then place him, because I can just start to see where everything's going here. Okay, well, that I'm going to start with the dog's leg coming straight up, and again, he's coming off almost straight off, this guy. And that arc is back. If you, even more arc is better than no arc. Okay, better be on the archy side of this guy. You're going to get a lot. Yeah, you're going to get a lot. It looks like a little bit of okay, this guy's tail definitely just stops and then, takes a bend to it. I would probably I don't really care for the way it goes like that right around here. Maybe just unwind it a little bit less, a little bit more. I think that would be better. Then taking, You don't even have this guy's things. You just basically, this is legs right in here, just a little bit. I always kind of measure negative areas, like, like between his legs and his body here. If you can get that right, a lot of times it tells you other places are right. Okay. And we got the boat. So just, half this thing is going to be probably this part. And also, I tell you guys, hey, if you mess up this part, that's fine. Look at doing a digital check on it. If you have to, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't. One thing. Ooh. Oh, see, the color finally shows up. That arc, just a touch less than that. A little bit too much up there, too much top. Okay. See, he comes almost here's the bridge here. You see, I don't know. There's a little bridge on the other side there. Okay. What ear? Look, I'm gonna go this ear. So that's where his heads has to end. I can cheat it out a little bit, but not much. His head just goes a little bit above. Just above his nose. It has to be just a little bit above, so it doesn't line up with the shore too exact, So we have a. I think I'm missing the boats here. Yeah, I'm a little bit off here. He needs a little bit more square here, where his muzzle and forehead are about the same length. So the top of his head and to his nose are the same length. Goes back, and then right there at the neck starts to chisel in, and then comes back out to the chest. See where this is. This has to be right in the middle of his arm. Okay. And this, if you're lucky with this color, we're toning, putting in here. If you do his ears, even if you want to start putting it in, there, and just, tip of his nose, things like that. You get going. It can sometimes help shape wise that you're drawing it out right. Okay, I think they'll do it. I mean, I'm just a little bit rounder on the bum here, a little bit. That side, and then you get the other side. Good. Tail comes in a little thicker at always at the bottom. There you go. Same with this guy. It's just a little thicker at the edge here. We'll see if that's how that turns out. Then the placement of that boat, you know, just above, just a little bit back of, halfway. So it just slides that this way a little bit. Hopefully I want to do him nothing but indications, you know, just so okay. So this is basically right here. I don't think. If you take where that bridge is coming, kind of cut through here, pretty much tells you right where that window is. Right under, right above it. So right about here. So everything's pointing down to that area. His hand tells me where his hand is. I can start to get the relationship of, again, of the arc of these guys. Press a little bit higher. So I was right on the arc, at least. So pretty close. I'm going to just give it a little bit of room. Right about his shoulders. Right under his shoulders is this shirt. Like that way. Looks like I got him a little thick. So I'm going to take off this side here and just a little bit on here, this side. There we go. Feels better. Just gives me a little bit more room. I'll use. And again, that sort of same little sway. And it will start to work. Looks like these guys are meant, you know, shapes are meant to come together. Just a little bit of a sway down that side, but he's pretty straight with the thing. See, that's what it was. Just his arm I was looking at his shoulders, measuring things. Not quite where his body was. Okay. Those things line up, so that's good. We can get the arc of the things here. Oh, geez, I missed that. How did I miss that? Everything points to this spot. That's what I have. Okay. All right. Shoulders up too high. Um, as far as instruments and things like that go, you know, I'm not too interested in doing too many circles or things like that. They're going to be just dabs, dots of color. Now I'm just going to go through and just clean up these areas here where I know I'm going to have a nice clean piece of white. It comes down and changes, and that's about it. I think I can get everything else. And I don't think I'll miss too badly. See, a lot of faith in myself. I don't think I'll miss too bad. Pretty sad. You can see his shirt, coat, nice little things. Everything's are nice, tidy little squares. Colors. Shirt comes down just beyond. Ooh, probably be inside it. Okay. Remember those arcs, the arcs. At least we don't have any faces to do. So this is our people one, kind of one we're going to be doing. And, you know, back to simpler landscape next week, with like 50 or 60 sheep in it. That's about it. Okay. Simple little thing. Okay. We just what are we doing here? Okay. We'll start with our darkest darks here in a second. Like I said, drawing this one out is probably the toughest little thing on it to do. Now, just getting the separation of things. All right. Did not work very hard on his arm either. Okay, well, let's start. Can't put this off forever. All right. We have some nice colors here to start with. We're going to be starting off with the phthalo green and lizards. Foam Valley, pretty dark, right? Pretty much all they're going to do is go on this dog. This is on the lizard side. A little bit. I'm probably going to switch it to the green side in the back here on the back leg on this guy. But if you were doing a black lab, this might be more blue than green. But I think you can still start with a kind of this kind of color. Just saying that. And then looking at this, I'm not sure if I do have a green. I think my lizard, I kind of went overboard on my lizard a little bit, but didn't show up in the bottom part. Maybe it's just what I have on my knife right. My shit. Oh, God. Sorry, I just dropped my brush and all my paint. Switching brushes. All right. Green side shows up for the face. Yeah. Okay. Like I said, this is the dark, toughest area here. And if we just block it in, we'll be fine. So I see it there on the side of his head, into the ear, phthalo green, alizarin mix. Mostly, this is on the green side a little bit. He's a little greenish. Then to the back of the top of the head a little bit, and then it warms up a little bit. Shadows are in the green side. And it goes really kind of red there, but back in here it goes a little bit greener than the alizarin I was putting in. Just remember that shadows turning over the form there. I'm also going to get the back of this paw hanging out here too. That might be more on the alizarin side here. Yep, green's showing up. Should be a little bit more alizarin right there. Just marking it, I'm going to catch most of the shape, final shape here. You know, when I paint everything else. But I'm finding that red, a little bit of red in his shoulders and chest there and the front end. Okay. 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 Since I have that done, I'm going to go back to this is the phthalo green side of the alizarin pan together. I mean, it's going to tone the water underneath here a little bit. Just closer at the bottom of the painting here, about up to about his nose, up to about his area here. I just need a little bit more dark in here just to just keep that coming forward a little bit. All right. Anything else with that color in it? Not too much. Not too much. I'm not gonna go really too. We're gonna move to the next one, phthalo green and alizarin. I mean phthalo green and oxide red light. This is the green side. I'm going to start back right where I put that mess of purples and stuff, and start putting in this green side. Could go just a touch more green, I think. Oops. Don't do it. Now it's a touch more green. That's full strength right there. And it's going to tone back from there. So I probably got the length of this arm wrong a little bit. Talk to myself. Just gonna lightly put this in here. And get a little bit in between these two guys too. You can see the phthalo green I put in coming out. So that's the head a little bit. Okay. All right. Anywhere else? gonna keep that down. Okay, we're done. Go to the brown side, the red side, and you're probably gonna find that really heavily into this dark dog. Making sure you got the red in it, really into his shadow areas, the side of his face. You know, I have that green in here. I've already put the coming back with this almost. This is full strength dark into this. Just in the shadow areas here. Still got that nice little purples and greens showing through it. So that's always nice. Down in here, definitely we can just start to get above things. When I mean above things, I'm just thinking underpainting, and that this color is pretty much the color a lot of times in this dog already. So yeah, still putting it in a little light and thin, just because don't want to go thick too soon, especially when you're in these in these areas here, because we want other colors to come in and have a place. Okay, I'm going to look for that a little bit in this guy. You might find it more in the shadow areas. This is the brown side too. It doesn't look like it, but it is. And I'm seeing, little places like the elbow and the shoulders here, and probably the back of his thing. Again, I said that's supposed to be the red side, but it really doesn't. Kind of goes a little dark. That's a big. I kind of painted him a little. As I'm going here, I can start to feel how big I painted him. I think I painted him a little bit, drew him out a little bit big, because his neck is like just a little too. Yeah, because his chest. I was trying to give him a big chest, and I got to cut that down a little bit. And I cut all that down, and all of a sudden, yeah, his face starts to fall into the right length. I started. Goldens have just a little bit longer snout, but these guys are really squared up. I mean, length of snout and head. So everything is going to go a little bit smaller back in here. I think the ear placement's okay though. Just not quite as big. This is again supposed to be on the red side. Really, probably because my brush has got a lot of green in it. I'm gonna push the red on it a little bit more here, yeah, as I go here. And we're almost done. Well, look at this guy. When I push the red onto my out of my green, that's phthalo green and oxide red. When I start pushing the red side a little bit more, because I had a lot of green in my brush, that comes out really closer to what I need for this guy. Even we're usually right out of the shadows into the meat of his body right in here. More of that red into it. So it's oxide red, just a touch of green. And that'll take care of like most of his midtones are going to be like that. Most of this guy, that's it. These midtones and mid highlights for midtone highlights, basically. That's it. All he gets. Being so brown. And that's really, pretty good for one dog. I mean, that's a good way to, it'll help. And he's just the opposite. He's going to be lights and highlights and mid-tone highlights. What I put on there right now is pretty much it for darks. I'm going to look for anything else. I got a few things. There's a rug in his shoe. I'm not going to put them at that, but they are sort of in the same value. I mean, they could really easily. There's a rug underneath this guy's feet coming out in right there. But I'm going to make and do that with a different red because it's too close to this guy. These guys are going to be too close to that. So I will leave this as the even back in here. His back tail here. Leave it this kind of red. Maybe push the red even one more step. Can't push it anymore. In this area, that's about it. Okay, so that's it. Those are my darks there. Everything else is going to be light. As you can see, it starts filling really quick. This is phthalo green and cad red. I was thinking I'm gonna just put it in here as creases into his pants and shirt. The highlight or the shadow into his shirt right there. And this is what I love about this brush is I can get just a straight line and just twist it. And that's it. That's all I have to do. Just keep it as a straight line. And then just at the ends do things. So the things with wrinkles, they all look where they come from, just basically they're triangles, just like waves. Waves are arcs, but they are really very close to sometimes rectangle or triangles. So triangles. Little arc at the bottom, legs. I'm going to use this color too, up here around his arm, going up and doing just some better basic drawing a little bit with his shoulder here and where arm comes. Just and then see what else I can get done in this color. Instruments are squares. Look at that, just a little triangle. Okay, so that's pretty good. I could be able to use most of that. So slight arc, graceful arcs. Maybe just a little wider. A little bit too wide. The shoulders, I think, are too high. I got too much. I think this is way too high. I'm going to use this color too for his head. Shadow up there on his hair. This is a cad red, fatal green. You know, just a little high. Okay, and into the shadow area. Okay, going to the red side. Don't want me to look for that green. I did not look for anything on the dog. It probably should be something here on this guy, right? Maybe in this just a little shadow area there. Okay, the red side. Definitely, I was thinking this color is going to be like fit in here behind this dog a little bit for this carpet that's right here at the bottom for the step. Probably gonna darken that in too. It's a little light. It's more light on this back edge than front edge. This also gets his shoe a little bit. Everything points back to that vanishing point, right? This points to the vanishing point. This comes down to the vanishing point. So it's right about here. So everything line wise should look like it goes to that spot. Okay, so this is the red side. This is going to come in here a little bit heavier in the painting. Definitely, look at this guy into his brighter areas. Probably a little bit brighter in this, but not by much. So this is going to take pretty much do everything on this dog, except for maybe some, final reflective highlights of mostly of sky and stuff into them that you find probably on flatter areas of the dog. Yeah, just a little sky. I think just is all that's going to be needed on the rest of this dog here. And then so one dog's done. Pretty close. This is going to come in really close to let me do these highlights. I'm going to keep it a little bit light in where I'm going to put where the highlights are going to go. So I'm not like, I just don't want those white spots to drive me nuts. A little bit of oil to get my brush back together. Now I'm just going to do the top of his nose and just fan the brush, basically. Just hold it one spot, twist it a little bit. You follow the crown of the head here. There's this that goes around top here. Okay. So that guy's pretty much, good block in, solid block in, good colors. Okay. I'm going to just work on the other dog. And I put in that really kind of other version of this, almost like the oxide red phthalo green version, which is good. It's just really not as rich as the cad red side. I put a little bit more cad red in my color too. And get a little bit more of this backside in here coming in. And his arm. Pretty much. Just probably made this dog too long, which is okay. I don't care. I think it looks, dog's proportional. Okay. Switch over to that's that red again, oxide or cad red, and definitely right in the back of his head here is. I put it in with the green side of oxide red and phthalo green. But now in the middle of that, of his head, that shadow area right in here, I want to warm that up where it pops. I might even go back and make these guys a little more red there where I can see some skin. Okay. Shadow on his legs. Go dark. All right. Let's see where those other colors go. I didn't. I was looking at. I was looking at everything else. I wasn't looking quite as heavy into, the water now. But get. That's the green side. I want to look at the red side. What that does. No, it doesn't do anything. Just a tear too dark at full strength. So those guys together. Okay. Warm it up, coming up. Okay. Pretty much all the darks are done. That's pretty much it. I mean, if little things, this is phthalo green and transparent oxide, which putting in pretty thin. I think I can get it in underneath here into these shadows here. I'm going to put it in here first. Thin, very thin. It's always weird when I'm drawing these things out that, you see a shape a little thicker than, you see a shape and a little thinner when you paint it than it is when you draw it. Instead of putting in a kind of light oxide red, phthalo green, transparent oxide red, sorry, and phthalo green. Just a little oil, more oil, and a little more oil on it. Okay. Sometimes these colors, when you do this, even at this point, they might go to the right value and you can be done. So instead of adding a lot more paint, I can keep it kind of thin here. As long as it doesn't run. I'm not using too much oil. Sometimes it does run. So that's All right, I'm just thinning that out a little bit. I think this color's probably pretty close. See, it wasn't too bad. This one's not too bad at all. I mean, it looks, you know, uh, you know, two dogs and a person is a lot to paint. But the colors makes up for it when it's kind of just simple color like this. And the shapes are pretty, you know, nicely squared off shapes. And, you know, really no faces to do. So perspective's not much. We can use the same color, almost just toned down color for this bridge here too. Coming over here, that's nothing there. The land is nothing. So now we are done with our darks. You know, we are just going to go. That's why I was trying to get some of this done here, just because I want to go with these other colors. This is going to go straight down and start my lighter colors. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red with white, with a little green, with green in it, but it's on the oxide red side. So I got that stuff in there. Now, if I can come back in and just use this, hopefully this is going to be lighter. No, it's not lighter. Same value as I put in here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go down a little farther. Make everybody quiet. Okay. So I just really just gonna swing this color. This is again on the red side, and I put it in with the green side on the light on the, and was trying to get this in, uh, you know, just so to take this for I wouldn't have to do what I'm just doing now and wasting, you know. But value wise, it went up a little bit. So I'm gonna go on the red side and paint this little box here. See how red that is. It looks really red, doesn't it? Okay. Wait till get rid of the white next to it. Look where else I can put that. Check here on the dog. Might get a little spot, not too much. Well, I didn't put that one thing here too, so we're gonna put that in later. So how does it work here? Okay. I'm gonna probably have to lighten that color one more step. To get this in right, because I was hoping to do this, just get it in with like one like drawn line. little bit too big a brush for that. Now it's too bright. Now it's too bright. All right, well, I'll come in here and just do the tone. Break up this box here I made up. Put in here just a little bit of lightness to it for it will stay. Okay. All right. What else with that? I mean, does it get to the pants color? No, I'm not going to do it for the pants. I don't want it on the pants. Okay. All right. Go to the next colors. This is a little bit more right down the middle. This is a little more taupey. Huh. That's what I made, but I wasn't. As I got going here, I just trying to get one color to do a lot more work. Here, light. Probably should be making color corrections at this point. I probably should just go for the blocking. I'm sorry. Just going to stop there. Boy, I got this dog really leaning over. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red on the green side, but maybe it should be on the red side. Some of these shadows here on the little banister as we get going. Okay. Next colors. This is cad red and phthalo green on the cad red side. This is what I was thinking was here. Yeah. In the water here. With cad red, phthalo green. This is on the cad red side. And this is the top area where the boat is and basically this whole middle section here, value-wise. I'm going to drift it down and soften it up. It's going to come down around the dog's chest and start to get to the boat a little bit, about halfway down. Starts to grab some green. One. There we go. I'm just going to start. Now, in this area, I start to get to the green I had in there. And I'm just going to just make a couple moves through it. We're only going to go so far there. Bring it up again at the top here, a little higher. Right to the boat. come back and just hit the shadow a little bit on this boat with that there, and little areas here. Okay. I'm going to start above too. This is what I'm going to do too. I'm going to start above the, this is oxide, this is cad red and phthalo green and white. I did the water with it really heavy right in here. Just a little bit more right in the middle here. But I'm also going to start it above here too, just at the highlight, at the, I might add just a touch more white to it. Or I might go down here and steal it from my pile down below. The high key white area here. And I'm going to start the sky with that at the bottom, at the high warmth, right at the bridge area below that. I'm going to just bring it up. It almost, see, it just cools off above the bridge with that, just that amount of white in it, right? Okay. I'm just going to drag it up a little bit higher. Just run it on my brush. This starts to tell me everything. It starts to tell me that everything's going to be all right. We're going to finish up in a few minutes. Okay. Next color. That color is probably going to end up probably in his shirt a little bit too. But to get there, we're going to put a little, going to go tone it a little bit. I'm going to see about toning with a little coolness too. This is oxide red. Transparent oxide. No, this isn't transparent. This is a regular oxide red light and phthalo green. This is on the red side. Probably just not enough. Just a hair more on the red side. I want to go. Yeah. I got all those lines in here. Did not. Just going to barely grab those lines when I go by them and just, pull them down. And that will be pretty much my midtones and everything. This is my midtones for this guy. But I'm going to pretty much paint a lot of it. This whole section with him, his whole body. With that. Okay. Jumping back, sorry, jump around here. That's the way these colors go so much. I get one thing going. I want to use it here, but then I have to get that in here. This jumping back just to the cad red and phthalo green. This is on the green side. Just putting in a few marks in here of from the waves. And basically what happens is these kind of, wave holes, these darker spots in here, all they are just staggered from one wave to the next. Basically, they're just staggered. Basically, they just stagger a little bit going down. I mean, they stagger over. So it's up here, it's down there, down. So and it almost kind of falls in between themselves. Because they're moving, they're spreading out. And pretty much, you know, they have the same force and everything. They are going to just shift a little bit. And then here, as I go down, I'm just going to let the paint, that oxide red and, whoops, this is cad red and phthalo green. Just going to let that color kind of gray out a little bit. I'm going to go a little bit more on the red side. It's just a little bit too green, cool green here. But as I go down in here, there's a softer touch. And when I get down here around the dog, it's just going to be just a slight drag of color. So I don't over. And then push it into place. The ripple, definitely, if you want to do the ripple, just a tip of the brush into the color. I might put it in with the oxide cad red side or something like that. And just push it in like that for the front edge of that wave. And then everything inside that little thing, I'm just going to push down and mix. And that's it. Water's almost done. Just got to take it into the dog a little bit more. Too much white on my brush. Or I probably have this color here too, just a hair too dark. That's what it is. Okay. That's what it is. I was supposed to lighten that color up, but I didn't. Didn't mix the color to lighten it up. There we go. No worries. I might have to lighten this up a little bit. I was hoping to do it as I get going here. It does have to lighten up a lot, so I'm just going to run this brush out of here. There we go. All right. Let's bring it back in a little bit, get rid of those dark areas just one more time, since I basically, this could go a little warmer. It feels like it should go warmer than this. I think I was going to use the oxide. I didn't mix, that's what I did. I didn't mix up the oxide side, transparent oxide side with a little bit of white to get this last little piece there. That's what it was. Okay. Sky, pretty easily. We're going to get there. Let's do that and we'll be done for now. I'm going to start off with a little pink up top. This is a phthalo green and alizarin. It's on the alizarin side. This is the pink up here. It's going to go in a little, I'm putting it very light, just right at the tip into the top of the bow, right there. You're going to find it into the boat too. You're going to find this purple into that boat. That's what you want. All right. Then I'm going to come down and grab the pink that's light enough for the sky. This is the real pink, purple pink. So I go just a little bit darker on top, coming down. Going to bring this color down more strongly. Go around the guy's arm. When I go around his arm, that'll be about it. Just go down a little bit. That's where this color is pretty much going to end. See the colors that start to come out. This color, before I walk away, I'm going to put this color reflecting off it right at the shoreline in there. See if I can get it in here a little bit. So this color, this red here, we put in won't be quite so strong. Okay. I'm just cut over to, this is the mix of both of them together. Really good mix of both these together. Basically, as you can see, it makes almost a beautiful blue gray. So these guys mix together, coming through here. What I'm just gonna leave here, little areas that I can just barely see clouds. Then I'm going to go over here to the phthalo green side. And we're going to put in this window. And that'll probably be it for the class. This could go. See, it went a lot faster, didn't it, than you thought it would? Probably his head's probably, you know, I'll have to look at his head from farther back to get his head in the right thing. This might be just a hair too bright. I might have to tone it down a little bit. This value I put in here, especially when I get close to the edge here. I don't want anything to draw too much attention there. But that'll be good. Yeah, just a little short on areas. Probably could bring this down. You know, basically I just got the dog to paint, but everything white is it. Definitely would paint this phthalo green and into this boat here a little bit. Probably, as you can see, it has to go pretty high key. That's like a 5, and it really has to be closer to that. Well, we got a good block in. I feel good about this. I think we can finish it. I'll bring you in. Pretty sure the time's up. Yeah. Almost there. Okay. Basically, I'll be putting in a little bit of that orange, that phthalo green and orange into the dog here. Basically, I have his back figured out and pants. I will finish this up and put it up. I'll finish it up probably today. And then up here too, in this area up here. I don't want anything like it's going to be soft, but it's been just a couple nice lines of color going through here, and then finishing up the skin tone in the hands, making sure it doesn't pop too much. I don't want him to steal it. Anything you put in red is going to really kind of steal the show, skin wise. So I don't want to put too much in. I want to make sure these two guys are, going to do it. And I'm going to lighten this up just a little bit more warmth in here. Some of that phthalo green might work, and then make sure the shadows work, and then the highlights. There are highlights there you can start to see start to pop through here for working out. Okay, let's see what you guys did. And like I said, I'm sorry about this one. This wanted I think it's a good, nice little piece I wanted to get done for some other things. Lori Tucker. I know you're gonna paint well on this one. Who else we have? Whose phone? iPhone. We got Lynette. Debette, turn your cameras on, ladies. Margaret, you too. Mindy, you better have painted. And Sarah. Okay, Lori's up.
Can't hang on.
No, we can't hang on, Lori. That's it. How'd you do? Did you have fun? These are your dogs.
Put in my dogs.
I figured you'd do it. Did you went with a darker dog? I was trying to give you hints about maybe what color you could go with on a.
Yeah.
Do you have a black?
Chelsea is pretty gray, so I'm having difficulty getting that brown. Oh gosh,
Are you doing brown or you doing or black?
way too skinny. She's a chocolate lab, but she's turning gray.
Okay, well, just keep her keep her young. That's always it's nice and healthy there. Okay, I don't mind those colors yet. I think why it's turning gray, probably just not enough red. No, just not enough red in there yet. That's what the thing is. It's just you jump to the white, and the white is really just got to watch how much you use of it. So you are probably, you are over. It needs to be more on the red side than the white side.
Okay.
The white graded out too much, so you just gotta bring it back on the red side, just a hair more. That's how. But I mean, if you're doing an older dog, that's probably the gray you probably might want. The other guys, good start on him. You're probably going to use just a little more yellow white into it when to warm it up at the end, but the base color is pretty good. The guy looks well drawn, good job on that. And the boat, the colors are working, the sky's in already. Good job on the land piece. If you don't want to put any other things back there, you need something though, on the line, the horizon line, because his nose is pointing to it, and it's just, you got basically that line's taking you straight off. So you need a stop of some sort of. That's what that boat was doing. It was stopping the eye, stopping that line, and bringing you back down.
Okay.
So look at it like that. You just have to be that boat. It could be just a block of boats. Just spots of boats. That's all I would do. Color wise, it's come along. Good to see the colors working really well. Good job on your colors. And your water. You see, the water looks good as it is. How simply you put it in. Those have some good marks. Good job on that. Work a little bit more on the clothes. The guy's clothes. You got some nice details in the water. Same kind of details going into his clothes. Not too much. Just good long, a couple good creases, and that's it. Try to do it in 2 strokes. 2 colors, 2 strokes.
Remember to clean my brush more often.
Yeah, wipe it out, especially when you get to these kind of colors, because they are like so close to each other. Yeah, they just kind of go in there. Good job though. Great start.
You.
Good job. Okay, everybody else, turn your camera mics on. We got iPhone. Who's iPhone? Hey, how are you?
Hi.
So, what'd you do? You paint?
I did a bit. I was actually quite shocked by the process because you gave
I
me
didn't
this
give you any. Yeah, I didn't set you up at all.
No, so I was like not at all knowing what to expect. So I came in with I sketched it out and I was taking a lot of notes because even just the color mixing was quite just completely different to what I was used to. I literally just mix as I'm going and I don't have a proper palette or anything. So that was really interesting to take notes on all the different colors and how you mix everything up before you do the painting. And then doing all the values and stuff. That's just not anything I ever particularly think about. So I just had started I watched kind of how you were sketching it out with the paint and doing the wash and everything, which I hadn't done because I'd already sketched it out.
That's
but
okay. That's okay.
I started just doing the dog and a little bit of the water.
Oh, fabulous dog. wow, he's gorgeous.
Thank you.
He's really knocked out well. That's okay. Yeah, don't get too far any farther on him before you get everything else painted. That's all I'd say.
Okay, yeah.
He's looking great. You want it all to come at the same time. You don't want somebody.
Okay.
He's going to steal the show. Definitely, he will. So the next, as you get going and stuff, because he's so well done, you're going to kind of, start to gingerly work around him instead of, attacking everything at once.
Okay, yeah.
So go on to the other stuff. Don't worry too much about him. He looks great. You painted him once, really great. If you make some marks in him, don't worry. You've done it before. You can do it again.
Okay.
That's really good. The colors look great in him, though. So wow, I love that. Love the way he's coming out. Good job on him. Do that to the second dog. Do that to the guy. And you're going to be in really great shape. I'll give you an hour.
Okay. Sure.
That's all it is. We painted really basically painted for an hour and a half. And you got decent, really nice dog in. You got some nice water effects going. So you really just keep going for your first time. That's really great. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing other lessons because, I'll come a bit more prepared. And I'm looking forward to following along a bit more with your process.
Yeah, I just thought I'd just throw it out at you and see what happened.
Yeah, thank you.
Great work, though. You got it. All right, let's go on to Lynette. And let's see what Lynette's doing. Hey, Lynette. Yeah, no mic. That's okay. We don't care about hearing you, Lynette.
Mute. Okay, there we go. I'm okay. So what I just did is I smushed out my second dog, his face.
That's okay. Yeah.
I do a lot of smushing, and now it's pretty wet, and I'm having a real hard time with the colors in this because I can't do any highlights or anything.
Yeah. The highlights have to be done with color. If you add white too much, all it does is going to make a older dog. It grays them out. And so you have to use orange, you have to use red, cad red, your cad orange to kind of simulate the highlights, the light on that guy. And then just in a very, very few places do you bring in some of that little hints of white and stuff. That's all it is. And
then the rug threw me off.
Oh, I'm sorry about that rug. I overstated the rug like how important it was. It's not important at all in there. So if you don't put it in, I just help flatten it out to space, But the built boat inside there is gorgeous, even though there's nothing there. They're just the mix of the warm and the cool together. Is perfect. It's gorgeous, even though you don't have any of the whites painted too much. That you can tell where that painting's going. The water, the sky looks really good. Value won't like that. I don't mind you. This is one of the things. This is where I was kind of telling Lori about that line. Watch that line being taking you off, where you fogged it out. Basically, you wiped it all out back there. From this water to the sky.
That's what I just did.
Yeah, I was going to say, basically, you made a fog. He's going into a warm. That might be more smog than fog, because it has a warm tint to it. But that's what you got to do. You got to go one way or another. You got to watch that line, or you put the boat in, or whatever. I mean, the boat or harbor, and put in a few little dots, square dots for boats. Little rectangles for boats or something, or put a sailboat in there.
Yeah, I'm better at sailboats.
You're good at sailboats. That sailboat from last week was really nice. So you could put that one in. You probably have reference for it. Stick a sail on it, and that would be enough. That might be even probably better than that boat. So it's a nice sailboat, even going out or in one way or the other.
Okay.
Probably, it'd be great. otherwise, just, work on the dog's colors aren't too bad, really. I mean, it's just that white. That's all it was. You added white to the brown dog, which isn't too bad. It's not horrible. It can be fixed. It's easy. And then lighten up the boat bottom part a little bit more, and that's about it. I think the colors values are really good.
Okay.
Congrats.
Okay. It's a start. Okay,
Hey,
thank you very much.
It's a block, and now it's all about adjustments at this point.
Right.
Anyway, so you want to get it blocked in as fast. Let's see what Margaret did. Margaret.
Hi, actually, I didn't paint. I just drew.
You drew it out?
No, I drew it.
I know. I know. You just drew it. You didn't want to paint it?
No, well, I do. But I decided on this painting that I like painting along with you, but I miss a lot. And I guess I could go back and watch the recording, but I'm not very good at that. So this time I decided just to pay attention to what you were doing, which was helpful because, understanding the palette better, and because I always feel like I'm very rushed when I'm doing that palette.
Yeah.
And also, I really appreciated watching how you see the photograph and how you pick out shapes and what's important. So that was huge. And if I had been trying to draw while you were doing that, I don't think I would have heard as much. So
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was very helpful in terms of just, listening to you and drawing. It also I think it's helpful when I go to paint it if I've drawn it before.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah. So
that will definitely help you in spots.
Yeah.
Definitely helps. Yeah.
And
you're understanding what you're doing.
Right. And there were areas where are tricky, and it's like, okay, yeah, you gotta pay attention to that. But thank you. No, it was very I got a lot out of it. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess makes me feel better.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, Margaret.
Okay.
All right. Now we'll go to Sarah. Sarah, what'd you do? You painted? Good girl. Oh, you got a good block in. Those are fun. I love the lines, the strokey lines you have in there. Good, solid drawing. I love that. To see that. That's half the fun things about painting is when you can see the artist's marks like that. You can just see these in lines that they really, started with and worked with. That's gorgeous. Good, really good layout. Colors are going in really beautifully. Oh, that's gonna be nice. That's right up your alley. This one is. The sky's done already. You're done. You're halfway there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have any qualms. That's fun.
Okay.
That looks so much fun. So is this what you're going to be doing while the Super Bowl's going on and stuff, painting on this one? See, there you go. I know what I'm doing. That's a beautiful start though. Any questions?
No, not right now. This was same thing as Lori was saying, that it's helpful to learn through how you see colors from the photo. So this was good.
Okay. All right. Good job. Thank you. I love that. I mean, I thought the photo was going to be, do justice. I love the story. I love the two dogs looking out as they're going out. You can almost feel the breeze in their face. And that the lighting of the softness in the lighting and stuff, so they don't I just like the way they stand out and everything. They feel like everything's together in the painting. They're so it's that's why I wanted to paint it. And it was, like I'm saying, I have a show coming up in 3 weeks, and this has to be dry and in a frame for it. So it was a little bit on my side. I'm sorry about that.
Can I just ask a question quick?
Yes.
Is that okay? About finding a reference photo, because obviously you've got this reference photo that you're saying, there's a story and everything. Like, did you specifically take this picture and kind of see this composition, or How is that like? How does that
No,
go?
this one I did get off of a friend's site. So so I do a lot of, I'm on Facebook a lot heavily, and you know, people put up photos and stuff, and you just see them and you ask them if you can paint them.
Mhm.
That's what happened on this one. Usually I am on all my other dog, any of my other dogs I'm painting are my dogs, but if I'm painting somebody's thing, you have to ask or know the person, that kind of stuff. That's what I like, you know, professionally, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, what I'm looking for stuff, I'm looking basically for light, how the light moves through the painting, the design. And then if the dogs or person or whatever it is has an attitude or something, that always is a nice compliment to it. So those are the little things I'm looking for, is how the light patterns, especially when you're painting snow scenes and stuff. Next week, we're going to be painting more landscape. I think a little bit more landscape. Maybe there'll be an animal in it again. So we will see how that goes. So you guys have a great week, and the rest of your weekend and all. And we'll see you all next week.
Thanks for a great class.
All right. No, well, thanks for painting this one. I'm really happy with it so far.
Good.
Good job, guys.
Bye-bye.
Not an easy.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See y'all later.